I'm the fake daughter. When the real one was found, I willingly stepped aside. My adoptive parents said they could continue to support me. Me. You got it wrong. Aren't you guys just planning to rely on me in your old age? Big brother. You'll inherit everything from this family, including your two useless brothers. Second brother. Business school is no place for a human, save your brother, sis. Real daughter. Me too, you'll inherit me, thanks. Being the fake daughter didn't surprise me at all. After all, I'm not like big brother and second brother. They're all about spending money, while I'm focused on making it. I helped classmates with homework, collected bottles to sell in school. People laughed at me. Parents even teased my dad, asking if our family went bankrupt. But father was unbothered, always proud of me, saying the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. He wasn't as impressed with my brothers. Luckily, I could assist big brother Jack with girl problems, and help second brother Felix with homework. Our sibling relationship was quite peaceful overall. Father often sighed, wishing his sons were half as reliable as I was. Big brother and second brother felt no shame. Instead, they were pretty proud. It's like our sister's gonna inherit everything, including us, her useless brothers. So when the real daughter's news came, my brothers were the first to panic. Both clung to my legs, crying, "Sonny can't go. If Sonny leaves, what'll become of us? I don't want business school. I want to keep playing piano." Second brother tearfully added, "I want to keep racing cars." The newly found Candy turned red, awkwardly standing by. I dragged them over to Candy, and had them cling to her leg instead. "Candy, I'm leaving these two to you." Seeing this, Laura, our mom, was heartbroken, almost crying herself dry. In this house, I feared her tears the most. "Sonny," she grabbed my arm. "It's not an issue to support one more kid." Holding back tears, I said, "Mom, Candy's 18 and spent 10 years as an orphan. If not for finding out the mix-up, she'd still be suffering. I wronged her, taking her life for 18 years. Staying here would weigh on my conscience." My brothers shot Candy a wary look. I grabbed their hands, pulled them and Candy in front of the mirror. "Take a look yourselves, you three look so alike. Drop the exclusion act. Don't let Mom, Dad, or your actual sister down." Felix broke down first. "Sonny, what'll brother do if you leave?" Fortunately, he held back enough to not reveal I did all his assignments. Jack sighed, sobbing like a small scolded child. "Felix, let Sonny go. She's not really our sister, and won't take care of us." Geez, they made it sound like I betrayed them. Candy took a step back, cold-faced. "I see, I'm the extra here. Fine, I'll leave. It's not a big deal. I can handle being an orphan. Quit the act." I ran out before they reacted. "Candy, this is on me. We should have switched back long ago." I quickly packed and left, not giving my brothers a chance to stop me. I dragged my suitcase out. It had only a few off-brand clothes and daily essentials. And a bank card. It had the money I saved doing small jobs over the years. If Mom and Dad have a problem, I can leave the card behind. Dad's eyes reddened. "That bit of money isn't enough. I'll transfer another $2 million to you." Candy scoffed. "When I was out there, I didn't even have 200 in my pocket." Dad stayed silent. And as my brothers tried to speak up, I quickly cut them off. "It's all good, don't worry. I'm perfectly capable of making my own money." I kneeled, respectfully bowing to my parents, thanking them for their kindness all these years. "If I ever end up begging on the streets, I won't trouble this house. But if I succeed, I'll take care of you." Candy scoffed again. Anyone can talk big while pretending. I understood her resentment. I'd feel the same. So I didn't linger, just headed out of the villa. I had saved almost 30 grand over the years. That money would cover 4 years of college, living, and startup capital for my ventures. I couldn't afford to waste it even a bit. After moving out, I rented a room for $800 a month. Not the best, but it wouldn't be long before I could move to the dorms, so I wasn't picky. Even on vacation, I stayed busy, constantly thinking of ways to make some money, while also finding daily gigs online. I even started uploading daily vlogs on a video platform. My username was Rebirth. Turns out I'm a fake heiress. Although I didn't know if this could turn into cash, I had a feeling there might be business potential. I washed dishes, delivered meals, packages, and handed out flyers. Though handing out flyers paid little, so I wasn't too fond of it. But if it was the only gig, I'd do it. I thought Felix would be the first to find me, since second brother was fickle. But I was surprised Mike, my ex-fiancé, showed up instead. Mike stood before me, looking like a sad, abandoned puppy. "You're my fiancé. How could you sleep with another guy?" I kept apologizing to this intimidating 6'1" buzz-cut guy in front of me. "Sorry for bothering you." Mike kept babbling on. So I shut him up by covering his mouth and pulled him back to my room. "What are you doing?" I shouted. "Why are you causing a scene at my place?" Mike pouted, looking like he was about to cry. "You're yelling at me. You're actually yelling at me for some random guy." I was speechless. "Random guy? That's just my roommate." His eyes were all shiny as he asked, "Roommate? What's that supposed to mean?" With patience, I explained. "A roommate means we're just renting an apartment together." Mike was stunned. "You can rent a place like that?" I rolled my eyes. This kid didn't know anything. "Why do you care how I rent?" "It's none of your business." Mike lost it, covering his face and pretending to cry. "You're asking what it's got to do with me? I'm your fiancé." I stopped his theatrics with a raised hand. "I got mixed up with Candy. She's your real fiancé." Mike pulled out a card from his bag. "I don't care. I only recognize you, whether you're the real deal or not. Sonny, you're the one I love." Honestly, I've always seen Mike as a little brother. Back when I thought I was the biological daughter, my parents supported me, so I felt I should contribute to the family. Even if it meant being with Mike, whom I didn't love, it didn't matter much. Plus, his family was even more influential than mine, so it wasn't a loss. But now things are different. I can't cling to this engagement and benefit from both families anymore. After finally getting Mike to leave, I was exhausted, but then the smell hit me, a delicious aroma wafting from the shared kitchen. Pretty sure it was braised pork ribs. I tiptoed to the kitchen and saw the buzz-cut guy deftly stir-frying with his strong, veiny arms. I was drooling. I was really craving it. My cooking? Well, let's just say it's barely edible. I hadn't had a decent homemade meal since leaving home. I poked my head in, trying to be charming. "Hey there, handsome, can we work something out?" He glanced at me. John, can you spare me some ribs?" Seeing his gaze turn cold, I quickly added, "I'll pay." When money was mentioned, John's expression softened. He tossed a couple of not-so-great pieces into my bowl. $10, he said. Sure, the price was steep, but they smelled amazing. It's the food, not the guy, I'm interested in. From then on, John and I had an unspoken agreement. I bought ingredients and he cooked. But I didn't always get a meal cooked by him. That's when I found out he'd recently graduated from college and had a younger brother in the hospital. His brother's life depends on money. Because of this, he couldn't get a regular 9-to-5 job. No wonder he worked even harder to earn money than I did. One day, after finally getting rid of Mike, I noticed something off with John. Usually by noon, he'd be out working a side job, but he was now lying in bed. After knocking for a long time with no response, I just entered his room. There he was, shirtless, covered in bruises, feverish, and talking nonsense in his haze. I quickly called an ambulance to take him to the hospital. When he woke up, the first thing he did was question why I brought him to the hospital. I snapped, "If I hadn't called 911, you could have died alone in the apartment." He collapsed, mumbling, "How much is this gonna cost? I can't afford to get sick." I asked, "How did you get these injuries?" The doctor said he'd been beaten up. John sneered, "Some drunk idiot didn't like me and beat me up. His friend gave me 20 grand to settle." I frowned. I couldn't bring myself to ask why he didn't report it. 20 grand was enough to cover his brother in the hospital for 2 months. I had planned to break off all ties with my family after moving out. But after giving it a lot of thought, I called Lucy. As soon as she picked up, she screamed like a banshee. "Sonny, are you crazy? You cut ties with me too." Lucy's from a movie-making dynasty, and also my best friend. I sheepishly laughed. Things have changed. I'm not their real daughter. I figured we wouldn't have much in common anymore. Lucy hung up on me. As soon as I got to the apartment entrance, a designer purse flew towards me. Mike was both furious and frantic. "Lucy, are you nuts? Why are you hitting Sonny?" Lucy looked at me, trying not to cry. "I'm hitting this heartless jerk. Who cares about status? Do friends look at that?" I didn't cry when I moved out of the house, or when I was kept awake by rats running around. But Lucy's reaction got to me, and my eyes welled up. She reached for my hand. Come with me. You can't live here. That family may not want you, but I do. Who says they don't? That familiar voice was from my big brother Jack. Even if our parents don't want me, they will always want Sonny. That voice was Felix's. Lucy rolled her eyes. Oh, I thought who it was, just you two. Jack pulled my hand. Sonny, come back with me. I'm about to have a solo concert, and saved the best seat for you. Felix nudged Lucy aside. Stop trying to take Sonny away. Blood ties can't be cut. Don't you get it? Lucy shoved Felix. Oh, unbreakable my foot. Where was your love when Sonny was suffering here? Felix was about to retort, but Mike interjected decisively. My fiancé goes back to Mike's place. It got messy between the four of them. I had to step in and stop them. Big brother, little brother, Candy is your real sister. Jack pinched Felix to force out some tears. We've been tagging along with you for 18 years. And now you say there's another sister? Have you thought about how we feel? Jack added, we're good to Candy too. Can't you both be our sisters? I sighed. If I go home, it'll take your attention away from Candy. She'd be unhappy. She's been standing in for me all these years. It'd be selfish. That's when Lucy chimed in. I wouldn't care. You're my only sister, whether you're the real deal or not. Lucy's round face and blinking eyes made it hard for me to speak harshly. I know she'd stand by me unconditionally, and even use her family's power to support me, which is why I cut off contact. I want to make it on my own, but eventually, I'll get her back once I've made it. Mike's eyes lit up, looking like he wanted to be chosen. Standing in front of him, I said clearly, Mike, I don't want to hold you back. I really don't like you. That engagement was for family duty and now I'm free. You're a great guy who deserves someone who loves you wholeheartedly. Mike broke down crying big and heavy. My big brother and second brother couldn't just watch, so they started to console him. They probably took Mike to a bar to carry on comforting him. Back at my apartment, it was just Lucy. She still had that pure and stubborn look. Sonny, if you don't stay in touch, I'll really be mad at you. I clung to her arm, whining. Got it, Missy, it's all on me. I admit it, all right? After cheering her up, I pulled out John's picture for her. How about this one? Lucy's eyes widened. Wow. Where'd you find him? Looks, build, style, he's got it all. I raised an eyebrow towards the door. My roommate. Lucy had a knowing look. No wonder you don't want to leave. I'd stay too if I lived with a guy like that. True, John's face and physique are compelling. Or I wouldn't set him up with Lucy. But honestly, it's his cooking skills that got me hooked. After Lucy left, I grabbed 2 beers and knocked on John's door. What's up? I sat at his table across from his bed. I'm setting you up with a job. Interested? Does it pay? Typical John, going straight for the money. Modeling, plus testing your acting chops. If you have it, you could be signed as an actor. John's eyes lit up, taking the beer from me. Thanks, when's the interview? Day after tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll go shopping with you for some good clothes. John shook his head. I've got work at the construction site tomorrow. I've got some new clothes I haven't worn yet. No need to buy more. I'm grateful you got me this chance. Hearing John, I couldn't help but be moved. He's on the brink of a new life. Maybe not fame, but our company can easily turn him into a bit of a star with his looks. Yet he wants to stick it out at the construction site, dirty, exhausting work not for the faint-hearted. He's like a passionate blaze. After 3 beers, I was feeling buzzed. John's face was also a bit flushed. With the mood just right, I asked, why did you seem down earlier? When my brothers were here, I saw John peek in through the door before he hung his head and went back to his room. John laughed at himself. I'm envious of you. Envious of me? I pointed at myself. What's there to envy? From birth, I've lived someone else's life, never meeting my real parents. What's to envy? At least you have people who love you, care for you, they're fighting for you. I stared at John. To me, he was always fighting for his brother. Brave, fearless, tough as nails. But now, I saw his vulnerabilities. His tough shell had cracked. His parents remarried separately, but neither wanted him or his brother. They saw them as burdens. So he worked to support his brother. But his brother fell ill, and he couldn't not help, because he's his only family. Even though he was so tired, I finally understood how he felt watching my siblings fuss over me, like a stray cat seeing a house cat being pampered. John hugged his knees, face buried, sobbing. I patted his shoulder. It's gonna get better, isn't it? It was probably the alcohol. John's tears streamed down. His vulnerability was getting to me too. At 18, being told the family I loved wasn't mine and realizing I was an orphan, it was terrifying, unfair. All I remember is us crying it out together. Life sure is weird. When I arrived at school with my bags, my old family was there dropping candy off. Mom fussed over her. Be nice to your roommate. If you don't like the food, we'll send some. Anything bothering you, tell Mom. Dad wiped Mrs. Jack's tears. Jack and Felix carried bags and bags, not an empty hand. Candy, looking like a proud swan in her pretty dress in the midst of them. Even without money, their immense love for their kids is priceless. Seeing this, I felt all mixed up, sad, hurt, maybe a bit jealous. But I didn't regret leaving. That life was rightfully Candy's. Suddenly, I felt someone cover my eyes, and John's voice came from behind. If you're feeling uncomfortable, don't look. I grabbed his arm and pulled away the hand he was using to shield me. If you can't even handle this, how are you going to stand on your own? John smirked and produced a lollipop from nowhere, popping it into my mouth. Have something sweet, it'll make you feel better. I pretended to be casual. Is this the one you already had? John teased me back. Yep, I already had it. Does feeling better help our situation? I asked. John shrugged. I don't know about others, but whether you're in a good mood or not, Sonny, you can always pull yourself together and take on the world. John looked away into the distance as I stared at his profile. I always knew we're the same, like wild grass. Even with a breath left, we could spread throughout the whole prairie. John asked me to eat something nice after I settled into the dorm. As I left, I was stopped by a familiar figure at the door. It was Jack. I walked up to him casually and called him Dad. He had a few more gray hairs and some new wrinkles at the corners of his eyes. When he saw me, he wanted to embrace me warmly, but his arms stalled mid-air and then lowered. Do you have enough money? Dad transferred some to your card, but you haven't used any of it. Don't be polite with Dad. Spend it when you need to. I affectionately linked arms with him. Dad, I have enough money, don't worry about me. Seeing I wasn't distant, he turned his face slightly and brushed his eyes with his hand, thinking I didn't notice the stars and the furrows at the corner of his eyes. I heard from your brothers you're having a hard time. The apartment you share isn't even as big as Auntie's room. You were raised in the palm of our hands. How can Dad bear to see you like this? I felt a lump in my throat, but kept it together to comfort him. Dad, I'm grown up now. I need to be independent. Just think of it as me starting on my own, standing on my own 2 feet. Hearing that, Jack couldn't hold it in anymore, and let out a couple of quiet sobs. Earlier, Dad saw you. While we were gathered around Candy, you stood by yourself watching. It made Dad's heart ache. But if Dad had spoken to you, your mom would have broken down. She just got over you leaving home. She doubled the love she has for you, and her guilt for Candy onto Candy. Dad didn't dare to let her see you. It's my fault. I patted Jack's noticeably thinner frame. Dad, it's okay. I've been occupying her place for so long. It's me that owes you both. Jack interrupted me. No, it's us that owe you both. Baby, when Candy's settled, come back home, okay? We'll always be your parents. I didn't give Jack an answer, because I'm not Candy, and I can't presume she forgives the ones who took her life. Seeing my low spirits, John, who planned to treat me to street-side fried rice, bit the bullet and took me to a Szechuan restaurant. We ordered 4 dishes for the first time ever. Did you win the lottery? I asked. John put a finger to his lips to shush me. Then, like magic, he produced a small cake from behind him. I was pleasantly surprised. You must have won the lottery. You even got me cake. John replied softly. Meeting you was my lottery win. In the bustling restaurant, amidst the clatter, I couldn't quite catch what John said and tilted my head. What did you say? He dipped his finger in the cake and dabbed it on my nose. Nothing much, just eat up. Before leaving, John handed me a key. What's this? I asked. Although he hadn't started acting yet, last vacation he got several ads, so his income was much better. To keep delivering meals to his brother, he rented a place near our school and transferred his brother to a better local hospital nearby. He said as thanks, I could stay anytime at his place for free. I claimed, no way I'm staying at your place. I planned on working part-time in the cafeteria. But words like that come back to bite you. A month later, I moved into John's rental place. Not because of any quarrel with roommates, but I found a more profitable gig than working in the dining hall. Making homemade yogurt parfaits with free campus delivery, loyalty cards, buy 8 get 1 free, discounts for classmates. The parfait gig needed a workspace, other places charged rent. Naturally, I looked to John's free rental place. John, with lots of work for little pay, rarely came by the rental place. It gave me plenty of room to work. His only request was that I occasionally check on his brother Leo. John had a morning flight at 8 a.m. for a shoot in another city. Yet he got up early to make meals for me and Leo for 3 days. If food didn't have an expiration, and the fridge had more space, I suspect he would have cooked for the whole month. It was my first time meeting Leo, the boy in the wheelchair in the hospital room. Hearing noise from the doorway, Leo turned with anticipation. But seeing it wasn't John, his face went cold and turned away. Leo. I called his name. Curiously, he turned back. May I ask who you are? I lifted the meals in my hand. I'm Sonny. Your brother asked me to bring your meals. Hearing my name, Leo's eyes lit up. Sister-in-law. I was like, huh? Leo gobbled up the meals and shared the backstory of the sister-in-law. I know my brother best. He's never mentioned any other girl. Sister-in-law, you're the only one. Your brother said I'm your sister-in-law. Leo's face brimmed with expression. That poker face wouldn't say that unless you guys were getting a marriage certificate tomorrow. He leaned in close. I've spent the most time with him. You think I wouldn't know what he's thinking? When he farts, I can even guess what it smells like. It may be a little crude, but you get the point. That day he actually told me to hurry and eat. I didn't understand why. Normally he would want me to chew slowly until the next day. I was drawn to Leo's intense way of expressing himself. Why do you have to rush eating? He asked incredulously. He actually said he wants to go home and cook for you. I said, why can't I cook with you? Guess what my brother said? That guy just can't keep a secret. He said he didn't want you eating anything less than fresh. Then Leo, all righteous, said, if at this point you're still not my sister-in-law, then that's on my brother. As he spoke, he kept sneaking glances at me. I found it funny and patted his shoulder, saying, well, your brother's really not up to the mark then. Leo was shocked. What is my brother in unrequited love? The prices were fair, and the fruit was fresh. The fruit salad business was busier than I imagined. Juggling both making fruit salads and making deliveries was just too much for me. When John got back from his business trip, I talked it over with him. I checked with the doctor. Leo's condition has stabilized a lot, and he can regularly go out for some activities. He looked at me, eyes full of joy. That's great. But I'm busy lately. Could I hire you to take Leo out more? I'll pay you. I banged the table dramatically. Come on. What's our relationship? Do we really need to talk about payment? John's ears turned a bit red, and he started talking in a halting way, even scratching his head to hide a smile. What is our relationship, though? I got up and patted his shoulder from across the table. We're comrades in arms, of course. Ah. John's voice sounded a bit disappointed. So I made my move. I planned to have Leo help me deliver fruit salads, just orders within the campus, not far. I checked with the doctor, and he can totally handle it. Huh. Even though I'm generous enough to keep him company for free, work is work. $1 for each delivery he makes. What do you think? John blinked. But how can he deliver while in a wheelchair? I shrugged. Just have him deliver it while in the wheelchair. He only needs to get it to the dorm entrance. No need to go upstairs. John still had some reservations, so I showed him a video of Leo moving the wheelchair by himself. His swift and agile movements. Wait, John paused the video. What's he chasing after so eagerly? Oh, a pretty girl. Finally, after some cajoling, John agreed to my request. Delivery guy Leo officially started. He grinned wide. Thanks, sis. You don't treat me like a disabled person. As for what he calls me, John and I have long gotten used to it. Watching me tie a box of fruit salad to Leo's head, John gave an exasperated smile. Sure, she doesn't treat you like you're disabled. I don't think she treats you like a person either. As my business got more and more popular, Leo improved a lot. After the finals, I did the math and realized I made nearly 10,000. To celebrate, I bought some snowflake beef, spare ribs, and fresh seafood that I usually wouldn't splurge on. Holding a lobster that must have been reluctant to leave, it flapped hard a couple of times, splashing me with water. I spat out the water, drawing a big smile from John. "You're laughing at me," I accused, stepping up to him. John skillfully handled the ribs, playfully pleading, "How would I dare laugh at our great boss?" His tone was full of playful sarcasm. "Oh, you're mocking me?" Playfully, I lunged at him to tickle him. John dodged with a laugh. He sidestepped. I lunged again, almost falling onto the cutting board. Fortunately, he was quick to catch my hand and spun me around. With nowhere else to put my hands, they landed on his chest. I'm quite satisfied with these pecs. Our eyes met, and the air around us turned soft with unspoken feelings. My heart raced, like when I first earned money as a kid. That vague affection I'd been feeling became a clear realization. I liked John. Now that I knew, I decided to kiss him first. His lips looked so inviting, all red. I rose on my toes to lean in. John didn't back away. Just as we were about to meet, the door swung open. "When's dinner?" Seeing us in such a moment, Leo instantly closed his eyes and expertly turned his wheelchair around to leave. I even heard him mutter, "Get going faster, hand." With Leo interrupting our moment, John and I awkwardly got busy in the kitchen. It wasn't until we'd had a couple of drinks that some of the awkwardness faded. The doctor once said if Leo was feeling okay, he could stay at home. But to give John and me some time alone, he insisted on going back to the hospital. John was worried, so he wheeled him back there. Left alone at home, I took a few gulps of wine, deciding to make a move on John while still tipsy. Soon I heard the sound of the code lock. Reflexively, I went to wait by the door. When it opened, John stood there in a black coat, cold wind swirling around him, carrying his unique scent right at me. My mind went blank, and I stood there, unsure of what to do. John stepped in and closed the door, pulling me into his arms. At first, it felt chilly from the outside, then warmed by his embrace. "Why are you hugging me?" I mumbled. I kind of knew the answer, but I wanted to hear it from him. John buried his head in my neck, taking a deep breath, then with a husky voice said, "Sonny, if it weren't for you, my brother and I might not have made it." I expected a confession and was eagerly waiting, but his words came out heavy. "Sonny, it's not just because you hooked me up with this job, giving me a chance to earn for Leo and me, but also because your presence reignited my hope for life. You came into my life like a little sun. Your vitality and ambition made me realize life doesn't have to be stagnant or unfair." He gently ruffled my hair. "You didn't intentionally take Candy's place. You did benefit, but not in the way you wanted. But you got through it with determination. You're stronger than me and have inspired me. Honestly, I've liked you for a while now. And I know you like me too, don't you?" The way he spoke convinced me, and I unconsciously nodded my head. Feeling my response, John excitedly picked me up and spun me around, again and again. He finally stopped when my already spinning head felt even dizzier. Then he held me tighter, like I was a life raft to a drowning person. He just held me, unwilling to let go, occasionally double-checking if I only nodded yes because I was drunk. Only after I confirmed over and over did he continue holding me, grinning like a kid. "Hey, can we stop the hugging?" I said. John immediately lifted his head, looking at me like a puppy afraid of being abandoned. That look melted my heart, but I really had more important things to do. I poked his forehead playfully. "We're together now, shouldn't we kiss?" In retrospect, I shouldn't have said that. If I'd known he'd kiss me like that, I would have kept my mouth shut. Not much changed after getting with John, except Leo calling me sis-in-law more freely. I asked him to let Lucy know, just in case it affected work. Lucy immediately showed up at my place. And of course Mike was with her. Mike grabbed my hand, tears streaming down. "Sonny, how could you betray me, Sonny? You can't be with someone else." When he got emotional, he even tried to use my sleeve to wipe his nose, but I stopped him just in time. I glanced at Lucy with a "Why'd you bring him?" look. She shrugged innocently. "You messaged me on Instagram while he was right there," she explained. With Mike still sobbing, I had enough. I waved to Leo to take Mike out for some fruit salad. Mike seemed happy enough, since Leo's got a knack for cheering people up. Once they left, Lucy scooted closer. I knew she was gearing up for gossip. Sonny, are you aware Candy is at your school too? I remembered seeing them as a family and felt uneasy. Yeah, I've seen her around campus, I replied. Lucy raised her voice. Do you know what she's majoring in? I shook my head. I've tried not to get too attached or curious about that family. Lucy chuckled. It's crazy how all three siblings are different. The eldest likes piano, the second loves racing, and the third who was found likes painting. Not one of them wants to inherit the family business. Jack told my dad he's so stressed he's going gray. Noticing my expression, Lucy backtracked. I didn't mean anything bad. I just meant, without someone to take over, they really need you. I've shown a knack for business since I was young, and Jack was thrilled. He never foresaw me being accidentally swapped at birth because of the hospital's oversight. They were busy handling a severe bus accident that day. 2 pregnant women on board, swapping me with Candy in the confusion. After I was born, the family flourished, and when I was little, Jack would sit me on his knee, call me his little lucky charm. Fate's twist. Who knew the real charm lived such a tough life out there? Seeing my mood dip, Lucy quickly changed the topic. Sonny, why not join my company after graduation? Dad's been wanting you for ages. Plus, your boyfriend's doing well. Got a role as a supporting lead in a modern drama. I'll give you his contract. I took a deep breath, trying to release the tightness in my chest. No, I've decided to start my own thing. Lucy bumped my shoulder. That's why you're saving like crazy. For startup money? Don't worry, I can be your angel investor. I teased back, oh, you just want to ride on my coattails? Lucy shot back, you caught on. I turned serious. Actually, the family business is high-end furniture, something I grew up with. But I have a new plan. Lucy leaned in closer. What's the plan? You're the business prodigy, show me the way. Nothing major, just thinking. Remember that little video project of mine? Somehow, it blew up with thousands of followers. Lucy looked at me with awe, as if I could do anything. Some businesses want me to promote them. I think there's good money there. If I bring in more creators like me, it could work. Lucy gave my shoulder a supportive pat. If you say it's doable, I believe it. Your business instincts are spot on. John calls me his sunshine, but I think Lucy's the real sunshine. If I were a guy, or swung that way, I'd totally fall for her. My naked gaze caught her eye, and she tossed her hair with a bit of sass. Why are you staring at me like that? Don't love me too much, she joked. We both chuckled and messed around on the sofa. As it got late, Lucy kept insisting she'd throw me a party for my birthday in a couple of days, before she reluctantly left my house. I guess she was worried I'd feel weird celebrating away from home for the first time. Lucy planned out this huge birthday bash for me. She even invited a few up-and-coming celebrities. And then there were some male models, who all greeted me in unison, "Happy birthday, sister. May you prosper and stay safe." They startled me so much, I took 2 steps back. Lucy thought I was being a bit of a buzzkill and whispered in my ear, "Why'd you bring John and the others?" I just shrugged it off, saying, "It's my birthday. Of course they're going to come." She gave me this look like, "You're so missing the point," and said, "I got the guys just for you. Thought they could, keep you company." I playfully poked her head and said, "What are you thinking?" She shot back, "Come on. Just thought they could have some drinks with you. Totally harmless fun." As we're bantering, here come Jack and Felix, all dressed up, joyfully carrying gifts. They saw me and rushed over, handing me the presents and wishing me a happy birthday with big smiles. I was surprised. "Big bro, second bro, why are you here? Weren't you supposed to be with Candy, celebrating her birthday?" Before they could reply, the door swung open again, and there stood Jack and Felix. If I said I wasn't excited, I'd be lying. They're like my parents to me, even if we're not blood related. Suddenly, tears just welled up. All the stress and fear hit at once. And I felt like a little kid again, just wanting to dive into their arms and have a good cry. Jack pulled me into a hug. Our little treasure's really been through a lot. Once the tears stopped, I realized, hey mom, dad, big bro, second bro, you're all here. What about Candy? What about her? She came too, of course, said a rather familiar voice as Candy appeared. I felt guilty seeing her. I've always felt a bit bad about things with her. Candy. They just came to drop off gifts and are heading back to celebrate with you soon. I tried to signal my parents with my eyes, but they just exchanged a knowing smile, completely ignoring my hinting. Candy pouted. Am I not welcome here, huh? Lucy stepped in. Why wouldn't you be? Now that you're here, you're both birthday stars. Celebrate together. I had no idea what was happening, but just went with it and blew out the candles with Candy. After the candles were out, Candy stuck by me. I could tell she had something on her mind, so I led us to a corner. Did I do something to upset you? Candy crossed her arms. Yeah, you did. You're way better at business than me. But hey, I'm not terrible. I'm pretty good with art. I wasn't sure where she was going with this, so I waited. Mom and Dad tested out which of us three could take over the family business. And Jack lost the company seal. Felix shredded an important document on his first day. What about you? I asked. Candy looked away, avoiding eye contact. Felix chimed in. Dad gave her $1 million to invest. Good news, she hasn't lost it all. Bad news, there's only 10,000 left. I couldn't help but burst out laughing. Candy shot me a glare, so I apologized. Sorry, couldn't help it. Felix grabbed my hand. Sonny, come home please. I really don't want to go to that business school. Dad says if you don't come back soon, he'll send bodyguards to drag me there. Jack appeared out of nowhere, holding my other hand. Sonny, you need to take over the family business with us. You're useless brothers. I looked at Candy, worried she might be upset, but she hugged me tight. Please help out with it too, thanks. I gaped, utterly confused. Felix laughed. Thought I was the only one they were forcing to study economics? Candy clung to my arm. Sonny, I just want to paint. Seeing us all tight-knit made our parents happy, and we all shared a family hug. Dad. Finally, someone to inherit everything. Dad. My two precious gems have finally made up. Jack. Awesome, back to my piano. Felix. Sweet, no more studying. I'm gonna hit the track. Candy. At last, I can paint in peace, without those stupid English lessons. Me wait, what? How did this go in a direction I never saw coming? After the birthday party, they kept reminding me to come back home soon. Despite his tears, Mike, wanting to give me and John some alone time, left with Lucy to take Leo back to the hospital. I scanned the room several times, but couldn't spot John. When I went outside, I found him by a pond. The lights shimmered on the water, shining in his somber eyes. The cold air had turned his nose red, making him look fragile. I hugged him. What's up? I asked. Why are you freezing out here? John's voice was hoarse. No reason. Just trying to clear my head. I sensed something was off, so I turned him to face me. Why aren't you happy? He put on a brave face, exhaling deeply. It's your birthday. Of course I'm happy. You're lying. You're upset. After pushing him to tell, John looked down. It's just seeing you with everyone around, being needed by so many and heading back home soon. I feel conflicted. John was abandoned by his parents at a young age, and because of having Leo with him, he often got judgmental looks. His experiences made him cling tightly to those he chooses to trust, like a lifeline, never wanting to part. I grabbed his shirt, bending low to look into his eyes. John, you know what kind of person I am, right? John nodded. You're excellent, hardworking, ambitious. I snuggled into his embrace, letting him feel my warmth. John, I'm not a stone. Since I've chosen you, it's for a lifetime. John wrapped his arms around my waist and said, I get it. You're so amazing that I'm speechless. Even if you never went back home, you could conquer the world on your own. It's my problem. I always fear I'm not worthy of you. I teased him with a smile. Then why don't you hone your acting skills and bring me an Oscar? John tightened his hold on me and nuzzled my head with his chin. As you wish, my boss. The end. Epilogue. I accidentally found out that Lucy was getting cozy with Mike, and there were even some rumors with my second brother. I asked her who she really liked. She countered, can't I love both? I just made a mistake every woman might make. Then she married my eldest brother. This twist, I truly didn't see coming. Candy laughed and took the chips from my hand. I'm happy to call you sister. Why can't you accept Lucy as our sister-in-law? I replied, I earned my place as a sister. Candy nodded. Yes, yes, yes. You opened an art exhibition, you're the sister. I put my arm around her shoulder. And because you're pretty talented yourself, otherwise, this exhibition wouldn't have happened. Candy agreed. No wonder our parents are lucky. We shared a smile. About John winning the Oscar. I swear I was just joking back then. I never thought he'd actually bring me an Oscar. Not just one either. Because of that, the company's stock price soared. I gave John several happy kisses. You really made me proud. He said, all right, ID card's ready, let's go get married. What? So sudden. Not sudden at all. Let's just do it. Leo chimed in, sis, you better agree with him. He's waited for this day for too long. If you don't agree, he'll just keep nagging. Meanwhile, I secretly thought, isn't John's image in showbiz supposed to be the cool and aloof star? John tugged at my sleeve again. So will you marry me? His cute act made me laugh. Okay, yes. The end.